You are well aware of the circumstance that the Philippines is having right now po mga kaibigan. We are facing one of the biggest disaster in human life, and we're still not at peak of this outbreak that has caused troubles around the world po mga kaibigan. Because if you would want to look at it po mga kaibigan, this is something that is, you know, the survival of the human civilization po mga kapatid. We don't know where are we right now at this very moment. The world's still looking for vaccines.
If you found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to Teachers Daily, and today's episode of the video po mga kaibigan, pag-uusapan po natin yung suggestion ng Department of Education tungkol sa digital or tinatawag nilang online learning po sa mga kabataan ngayon, especially when the Philippines is suffering from this pandemic po mga kapatid. Check this out. Alright, so first, when we talk about online and digital learning, one important thing that we need to recognize here is the availability of materials po sa mga guro. Number one, not all teachers in the Philippines actually own computers, or they may have laptops but they don't own an internet. No, this is the biggest problem because number one, this is true. We have a very unstable internet connection in the Philippines, and one of the most expensive internet connections in Asia po mga kaibigan. So, will DepEd provide the hardware that is needed for this online and digital learning? Kasi I work in an ESL before a long time ago, and I realized that the capital expenses po upang magkaroon po tayo ng tinatawag na tutorial online learning po mga kaibigan is that number one, they must have a good computer or PC set po mga kaibigan, which most of us, especially private teachers po mga kaibigan, they don't earn that much compared to the public school system. Although some people in the public school system may have the money, but are actually in jail with loans and payments for their family, because when we go to the public, when DepEd welcomes us to the public system, it's actually yun eh. That's the end of your dream and ambition. You have a stable life, stable work, stable workplace. Salary is always there po mga kaibigan. That's a public system. That's the end of a single life. So many of our friends who went to the public system are actually now married, no? So that means they are now feeding their own family. So is DepEd or Department of Education willing to lend a hand to our teachers with regards to this matter? Number two, is the Department of Education willing to compensate or reimburse teachers who are spending money on internet connections? And that's the biggest question right here, because when there was no pandemic yet, it was the Department of Education who installed school buildings po mga kaibigan, and we don't pay for that. Now we have to make our houses, our rooms, as a setup for classroom management po mga kaibigan. And the entire salary could not compensate that. Hindi po madali. Nalagyan po ng decoration natin yung mga bahay natin, gagawin nating paaralan. That's a thing, no? Teachers in the Philippines are not rich. Hindi po kami mayayaman. Pero hindi ko naman po sinasabi na ayaw namin. Nasa bahay kami. Maganda po yan. Pero I hope, with regards to this suggestion, Department of Education, are they willing to compensate for the resources that is needed to set up a classroom inside in a virtual world. So number two mga kapatid, pag-uusapan natin na this is actually the biggest issue right here. No, number two, are our children in the public school system or even in private school system have computers at home and internet connections at home? Aside from teachers, malaking problema po na tinitingnan na kapag nagsimula tayo ng online learning sa school year ngayon, kaya ba agapan ng gobyerno ang mga mag-aaral na nasa publiko? And you know, the fact there that most of these children belongs to the lower classes. Their parents do not have enough money. They don't have the salary to buy computers and internet connections. Number 3 points po mga kapatid, the system itself. As a teacher, I would always want to make sure and wish well that our agency of education, which is the Department of Education, had assured already the availability of computers and internet connection to the people. Now this is the problem. No? First, is DepEd ready for the setup of how many students are there inside the virtual world? 10, 15, o baka pareho na naman sa 30 at 45. Kasi if we will see that, then the virtual system, the capacity of a virtual system is limited. 10 to 15 people, enough. And if that is the case, if the previous educational system we have, that there is one teacher for every 60 students, and then we will apply the new normal, there will be one teacher for every 15 virtual students, then DepEd or Department of Education must hire another set or batch of teachers to accommodate the remaining 30 students po mga kaibigan. So, there will be changes to the new normal po mga kapatid. Second, that I think of a problem is that how can we assure that these children are listening? No? That is how important the Parents-Teacher Association po mga kapatid. The cooperation of parents in the area, how can we assure that learning still continues because their children is listening, and that the only way for a child to listen is kapag may ina o tatay na nagbabantay sa kanya. This is a virtual world, no? Naiintindihan niyo ba sinasabi ko na hindi makukontrol ng guro yan kapag nasa malayo yan? And you come to think of modern digital born children today is that they can do whatever they want inside the virtual world. And if that happens, there will be a new set of system for classroom management. How does Department of Education deal with that type of new system? Hindi mo makukontrol yan. Makukontrol mo lang yan kapag may magulang dyan. Now, the pandemic is a good time to learn because we are on a stay-at-home basis po mga kapatid. Siguro, we hope and fervently pray for the new normal system that parents will always be there already since they cannot go out naman, they cannot earn outside, that parents are there at times of during the schedule ng kanilang mga anak. So, I think DepEd must weigh down the things sa 3 points po na sinasabi ko. So, I'll give you 3 points. Yun po mga kapatid. But the rest of the recommendations that you want to say, please don't forget to comment below. And, napaka-importante po ng mga opinion ninyo. Nakikinig po tayo sa opinion ng iba. Hindi naman po tayo nagmamagaling. We also need the opinion of others because one brain cannot work at all without the help of many others, and that is very important. Nagtutulungan tayo. This is a teachers community po mga kapatid, no? Even though sometimes do not represent our guilt and opinion to the Department of Education, because we don't want to sink the boat that we are riding right now. I don't want to criticize the Department of Education, but these are suggestions po mga kapatid that they have to come and think about kung ano talagang mangyayari. And that's all. This is Teachers Daily po mga kaibigan. See you tomorrow.
If you find the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way.